Well, I think this might be an intro to the next video. Not even sure what the next video is, but we got a little bit of snow this morning. So this is early morning here at the Smith garage. The Beast has snow on it. See, the snow came down about 500 feet last night here in Northern California. Probably snowed for a good 3-4 hours, and then started raining. So right now it's raining. It's kind of melting away. Neighborhood's quiet. Everything looks good. So thanks for joining Mr. Smith Garage. We'll continue to work on Jack, the 81 Vanagon. It's a little dark in here, huh? It's morning. Oh yeah, here's a good picture of Jack. Yeah, Jack's looking good. We got suspension going. I did get the rotor yesterday. There it is on top of that spare engine. And I also am borrowing a friend of mine's little camera. We're going to actually scope out that engine inside the cylinders to make sure it looks good. And maybe put that one up for sale if anybody's looking for a 2.0 motor. That way, we got this one's about ready to go in. Not much left to put on there. And then, of course, just got the hood open for Ferdinand, the Porsche, just because we're going to trickle charge that battery. All right, well, there's the intro. A little bit of snow outside. Looking pretty. It's a pretty morning. Got to get to work. Bye-bye. Okay, welcome back, Mr. Smith Garage. We're here in the evening. Hopefully you got a shot of that snow in the morning. This morning we're here in the evening working on just a couple of things. I'm going to try and get the races pressed into this disc. And then from what I was looking at on this guy right here, it sounds like I'm going to need to knurl that all out with a Dremel. Everything that I looked at online said you just got to kind of spend 30-45 minutes with a Dremel and Dremel it out as much as possible until you can actually get the stud out. So that's what we're going to do, because that's actually a really good piece. You can see a little bit of rust, surface rust on there, but that's it. That's a great piece. I'm thinking that this came off of the donor van, the brown two-tone. So anyway, I'm gonna grab this. I can't grab it with one arm. I probably could, but it's just, I don't want to mess it up. Oh yeah, get it over here to the press. Ooh, there's that engine looking good. Ferdinand's kind of in my way here. I'll get it over here to the press, and there we go. We still in the right angle? Yeah. We'll get those races pressed in, and I'll show you. I'll go ahead and show you pressing those in. All right. So first we got to get the bearings out of the box, right? Got them in here. SKF bearings, and here we'll just keep that front one in there. And get this back one out. SKF. Okay. And then let's make sure we clean this out a little bit. And I got to get the right size press. Push this in. All right, we're going to use this until we get down to flat. And then once we're at flat, we got to figure something else out. See that all right? And then let's get some. Look at that. That fits about perfect. Show you what we're doing here. So you can see just right down here, it's just going to start pressing it in. We're going to get it right to where we go flat. Yep, that's flat. Now we gotta figure out, I don't know if I have a size that's that size. Let's see what this does. I think that will work. Let's try it. That is 65 mil. I just gotta make sure it doesn't twist in there at all. It stays pretty straight. There we go, that just hit the bottom. Yep. Let's get it around there. Let's see if that comes back out. Yep, perfect. Okay, so there's the bottom race, or the back race. Now, we need to do the top race, but we need to make sure we put something down on there. Keep it from... We don't want to scratch our disc, our rotor. Just like this. Let's find the race in here. It's going to go in there. I'm going to put this just back in this little baggie. Stick it back in our box. Let's go with 45. Ooh. 45 is perfect. Okay. I know you want to see that, right? Okay, I just want to make sure that this thing is not... Yeah, it's loose. Good. Just want to make sure it's not going to get stuck in there. That would be a problem. Nope. Is that all it goes? That feels tight. So let's make sure that is all the way in. Perfect. And that's how you press in a race. That's it. Hey there, welcome back. It's been about a week. I had a great week with my with Mrs. Smith up in Seattle area. We did a little trip around to some national parks. Had a good time, nice and cool weather. Back here in the garage now, and we've moved Ferdinand around, and I've moved what was up against Jack here across the garage over there, and just backed Ferdinand in so I can still get in and drive Ferdinand in and out. But I have access to all this side of Jack so we can work on some stuff. So hopefully this will create a space that I can come out here in the evenings and do some work and not have too many problems. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put some, pack these bearings with grease. See those in there, guys? We've already got the race. That was the earlier video that you probably just saw. And then we're going to put this rotor on this side, put the brake on, brake lines I've got already set up in there. And then the next step for the front end will be really just kind of a loose alignment. I say loose because just want to make sure that it's not going sideways down the road on the first couple drives, and we'll get it aligned. I've got a lead on a place already for alignment. I started wondering if I got the wrong size front, this sway bar. I need to check the size of my sway bar and the size of the bushings that I got there, because I think those bushings might be too small, and that's what maybe the problem is, why it looks like that. So I will work on that. But anyway, we're gonna do the bearings real quick, grease them up, put it on, and we'll show you what's next there. Okay, so we got this on, the rotor, got this tightened in, got it all greased up. Wasn't quite sure how far this was supposed to go on there, but I think the other side is just about right where this one is. I did notice that when I was putting the brake caliper on, when I was torquing it down, it did make this really tight, and so I had to end up tightening these up even more so to, I think, get it evened out and back set where that the bearing behind and the seal behind is where it should be. But it seems like it's moving now. I think once we do a quick alignment on it and get some wheels on there, get it on the ground, and then jack it back up, we'll be able to maybe move it around a little bit and get it back in there a little bit. So anyway, I did get a couple of these little brake pieces that go right back in here. Let me show you where those go right up against where that brake line, the hard line attaches to the soft line. So got those from Steve at Wolfgang, and so we pretty much got this side done. Now we need to do that basic alignment. So that's kind of the next steps. If you are new to the channel, we're going through and working on Jack. It's a 81 air-cooled Vanagon Westfalia. There's the engine. Engine's going to be going in here pretty soon. This engine's just a spare engine that I've got. Might be ended up selling that. We'll see what we do with it. But next, I think after, I don't know if we're going to do the alignment right now. We might actually do the shift linkage, because I've got all the parts now to do the shift linkage. And so we're just kind of rolling through, just getting through Jack as much as possible. I want to get Jack running before the summer so we can actually do some camping with Diesel Synchro Jim. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I do at least one video a week, and sometimes more. It just kind of depends on what's going on in my week. I spend about an hour to an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe out in the garage each night after my real job. And that's what we're working on. So thanks for joining, Mr. Smith Garage. Hey there. So you don't always get to see all the research that goes into making this old Vanagon run. So I'm getting ready to go off, do some work. But I decided to do some reading today, figure out some tools that I might need or whatever. And I am researching the Bentley. So if you didn't know this, section 44 is wheel tire alignment, and it has all the specs in here for empty, half load, maximum load. It tells you what order you're supposed to do it in, some measurements that you can do for tow without specialized tools, and and even I never knew on the Vanagon that little slot that's above the bolt is actually for doing your alignment. And then there's on the back of the trailing arms up inside, there's those holes, same thing. It's a setup there to do your alignment for the rear wheels. So yep, just doing some research, figuring out how to go about doing that alignment, because the alignment is pretty off. So got my furry friend right here, and there's Zero. So you get to see a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes when I'm not just in the garage. All right, so I don't feel like we did much, but then I also feel like we did a whole lot on this weekend on Jack. So I'm gonna flip this around and give you a shot. So we put the wheels on, and we put them on rollers, which is just a little bit higher than with the jack stands that I had underneath. But the springs are gonna have to settle. I do not have the engine attached in here yet, so it doesn't have that whatever 500-600 pounds of engine in there. The front, you can definitely tell think I've got the steering column centered, and even with this camera on wide angle, you can tell that that's way off. I think my toe is really far in, so I'm hoping I can, and even my camber on that, so I'm hoping I can do some adjustments there. I did order a 14mm Allen wrench socket, so that should be on its way from the Amazon rainforest. And anyway, those wheels look great. So here's the thing is, you know, like I got new lug nuts, but they're kind of zinc colored in the back and they're black in the front. So it's okay. It's utility. They're new and they're heavy duty lug nuts. So, but yeah, you can even tell this one's just kind of off when it comes to alignment. So we're gonna have to work on that. Didn't get a chance to do a scope on this engine. Maybe this week in the evenings I could probably do a little bit on this engine and tell you how it looks internally. Just trying to think if I got anything else done. No, I still need to clean this out, and that way I can get the engine in there. Once I clean that out and do a little paint on it, we'll be able to get the engine in. Also, shift linkage. I know I keep on going over these things that we're doing, but subscribe and you'll get an update when I post a new video. But we're going to do the shift linkage once we get the engine in, because then the transmission will be up where it kind of needs to be. Let's see, and then fuel tank. We'll do the fuel tank and the fuel system, get it all in. I've got a couple of my parts here, but I've got all new rubber for the fuel tank system. A couple of wiring things that we still need to do. I did get, what did I get from Amazon over here? I got some stuff, can't find it. Anyway, oh hey, one of my followers or one of my subscribers told me to do this, or this is what he ended up doing, and so I was going to try it. So he ended up putting 2 O-rings on this thing, and so let's see if that's the job that we're going to do. I think it was that one. So if I just put 2 O-rings on here, I just don't want the O-ring to come off and go into the engine. So that could happen. Maybe he put 2 smaller O-rings in there and really stretched them out. Yeah, I tried a couple of different O-rings on here, and when I push them down into this thing, they just seem to be a little too snug to the point where I think it would slip off as if I pull it out and probably drop down in the engine. Not that a little rubber O-ring might hurt too much, but I just don't want to do that. So maybe try and find another O-ring that's a little thicker I could stick in there. Or, if you're that person, let me know what size O-ring you used, and when you used 2, if you felt like you're comfortable with it not coming off. So anyway, oh, the other thing I didn't get to yet, I still need to. I know Jim's been asking me, but we were on vacation, is I need to get this thing out of there. So these are my practice welds. Did some practice welding, trying to get in a spot so that I could get it really into that, but we'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. I might use the Dremel and just kind of carve it out of there a little bit. So anyway, I did want to say thanks for watching. Do subscribe if you want to see all these updates. Again, we're working on Jack, the 81, sorry, 81. See that? That's really the only way you can tell, unless you're really looking at 80. This would be 80 and 81 from the outside. It's the only difference, really. Maybe where the antenna is. So this one's an 81 Vanagon Westfalia camper. We got all new suspension on there, and we're just going through renewing this thing. So it's in great shape, not a lot of rust. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Enjoy the show, and we'll see you next time.